Welcome back to the 2023 World Series of Poker. It is time for the final table of the Millionaire Maker. 7 players remain with all their eyes set on the top prize of $1.2 million. Second place also going to receive a $1 million payout, and the final 7 are guaranteed to take home at least $222,000. My name is Remco Rinkema, Donnie Peters alongside. We're going to bring you guys and girls coverage of this event until we get down to a winner. It was raucous, it was loud, it was absolutely insane on the rail tonight, and I'm suspecting this to continue today, as we already saw the French will show up, German rails show up. Let's see if the Americans are representing as well. Donnie, we are set for quite a spectacle.
I cannot wait to watch this one play out. We can only hope that we get the energy that we got yesterday. If we even get like 65% of it, it's going to be a great stream.
It's going to be a great stream indeed. If you are joining us, wherever you are joining us from, wherever you are watching us on, give us a shout in the chat. Show us a sign of life. We're very excited to take this one down to a winner today.
Remco.
Yes.
Ryo's got the wooden tie.
Oh, beautiful.
Awesome.
Frenchman Ribouchon gets it started with 2 9s. Takes it down. Nice and easy going for the man they refer to as Koto.
We got an interesting dynamic at this table. In case you watched last night, you will be aware of it, but Pavel Plesuv from Moldova, now residing in the Czech Republic, is our chip leader. He's a very experienced tournament pro, and he sort of took control of this table last night, Donnie.
He did. I mean, he has a vast wealth of experience that he's going to be able to lean on. Of course, he's got that big chip lead as well. Former World Poker Tour champion. I believe it was the seminal Rock and Roll Poker Open a couple of years ago. Very well versed online as well, so I expect him with this chip lead to be quite a handful for anyone that is going to try and overtake him.
Anton Smirnov there wearing the Spanish soccer colors, the Spanish flag represented on his back. He is our short stack with 12 big blinds. Vitor Coutinho from Brazil has 13 big blinds. He's second shortest. And then Paul Gunnis from the USA is our third shortest stack. The other players have a bit more room to play. But it is safe to say, Donnie, that we're going to see quite a few big all-ins given the structure right now.
Oh, yeah. There are 3 stacks, sub 20 big blinds, sub 15 big blinds, really. So I expect these guys to get their money in. As we saw yesterday, play at 2 tables was pretty slow. A lot of ICM implications, a lot of awkward stack sizes going around, big pay jumps, of course. But then once we hit that final table, it was gangbusters. And I'm expecting that to continue here today. Maybe we'll have a little bit of a feeling out period for the first, 20 minutes or so, maybe the first level. But after that, I fully expect the chips to start flying. Everyone just picks up a pair. There's a pair dealt on every hand.
Mullaly raising it up with pocket eights. The 21-year-old American kid was really impressive last night. Delivered with his play.
I'm calling it. Myles Mullaly, breakout player of the year.
Wow.
That's what I'm calling.
Big. That's a big call out.
He's 21. He just turned 21 in December.
That's absurd.
He's got a birthday a day before mine.
That's crazy. Action folds to Gunnis in the big blind. Ace-9 offsuit. Did not have the greatest run into the night last night, but still managed to survive. Still has a stack here worth battling with.
Usually I can order 6 beers. You just have to make it easy. 6 rum and cokes or 6 beers.
Paul Gunnis, another youngster, 25. Don't say too many, 25 and unders these days in poker. Especially Americans, given the climate surrounding online poker. But we got 2 here looking to become millionaires.
Gunnis defense from the big blind flops an ace. That is exactly what he was looking for. Let's see if Mullaly is going to continue here. He is going to continue for 1.6 million. Given a stack size as Donnie, you just want to sort of get into call mode here if you're Gunnis?
Yeah, I think a call is just fine. I mean, if you do check raise, gonna fold out those bluffs. What's really gonna call you? That's you're beating. Wow, he just goes for it. Look at that.
Wow.
Okay.
Big aggressive shove here right away. Making the decision a little bit easier for his opponent, Donnie.
Well, yeah, of course. And that sort of shove there. A min bet of 1.6 million from Mullaly, and he gets jammed on for around 19. Very easy fold.
Quick little chip up for Paul Gunnis here to start off the final table. Let us know in the chat who you are rooting for. Have you developed any favorite? Of course, Ryo Kniep, Andreas, wearing the wooden tie and the pink hat. Probably the fan favorite, the man with the most exposure on the broadcast in the past years. Made a deep run in the main event back in 2021, finished in 18th place. I'm sure you will all remember him from that. As we mentioned, Plesuv, a former World Poker Tour champion. The other players are relatively unknown, but they do have, you know, some kind of resume. They're not all complete rookies to big spots. Perhaps not as big as this one, but they've been deep in some tournaments before.
Yeah, and Smirnov, I mean, he ran the game that Mike McDermott played in, right? That, like,
Very good. Very good.
Gunnis picks up another playable hand here. Ace-Jack off this time, a little bit better than the last one. He is in the small blind, play folded to him.
The French rail, I'm just going to go on a limb here. Probably the loudest rail tonight. If there's any sort of action, they are already drinking on the rail. Oh, Gunnis brought some friends.
Yeah, you know, brought his crew. Let's go. That's what I like to see.
We're not too far off from some USA chants, perhaps.
I mean, listen, Kniep has a rail too.
Yes.
About 8 people showed up in bright pink hats.
Absolutely.
There's a giant blow-up unicorn next to the stage.
Is that his new nickname? Are we going to be calling him the Unicorn?
I guess so.
Sorry.
Action on a Ryo here with Jack-6 of diamonds. That's going to go into the muck, and he's going to perhaps pay a visit to his rail.
No. I have 7 restarts. That's the only clock I got for deuce. All right. That's why your clock is here. Okay. Thanks.
3.2 million.
Like time them differently?
Oh, that's not bad. If I did, but it's still not helping.
Yeah, no worries.
Well, Gunnis keeps picking up hands here. Another really good
Just
one.
have some information, you know? Because I turn around, I see like all this pinkness. I don't even see the clock, you know?
Looks like he's counting on the
Imagine they put
re-raise
the clock in
here.
pink.
A shove would be
Can you do
a pretty straightforward move here with 15 big blinds, Donnie.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah.
All in.
It's closer to 20 big blinds now, a little bit over.
Nice.
Does move it all in and gets it through. I think that counts as being on fire. And he shows it. He reaches back in, pulls it out, shows the ace-queen of spades. 3 in a row for Paul Gunnis.
Gunnis now up to 40 million, and really, you know, solidifying himself as one of the contenders here after only winning a few small pots. Eyes now on Smirnov and Coutinho, who are the shortest stack. And there's a look at the rail. The pink hats have shown up. How do you find this many pink hats, Donnie?
Good question. I mean, it is Vegas, I guess. You just go to one of those stores where there's like 4,000 t-shirts outside or something. I'm assuming they have a hat section, and they probably got a pink hat section. Must be a great start, or great feeling, I should say, for Paul Gunnis. Chipping up quite nicely here in the early goings without having to go to showdown at all. 2 prior cashes at the World Series of Poker this year for Gunnis.
They started, minus the blind.
He also had a deep run in the BetMGM Poker Championship that we live streamed that concluded at the PokerGO studio. He took 27th there. Bit of a mixed game, guys, too. Won a 10-game mixed
Roughly the same, right?
event. A high roller, $3,000 buy-in at the Lodge. In May.
Love to hear about that. One of our commenters on PokerGO chat says, Gunnis is an absolute killer. I play with him a bunch. It's his tournament to win. I mean, he's off to a hot start here at the start of the final table. Can't deny that. We're going to see a flop here. Ace, Jack, 4 rolls off the deck. Mullaly flops a pair of jacks.
Can't wait. Mike, est sûr? Mike, c'est sûr qu'il va faire des bons rapports. Dans ton téléphone, du coup, quand ça te lance à 40.
Let's hear from the 21-year-old Mullaly.
I flashed the ace queen of spades. You saw that.
Raises it up.
One of the 3-bet references.
Or sorry.
Oh, comment
It was limp check and then check bet. Call on the flop. My fault.
Pourquoi il fait chaud? Du volcan.
King of spades on the turn. 2 spades now. Kniep turning a flush draw. Mullaly once again checking. He's got a pair of jacks, 8 kicker. Mr. Sir says, is Mullaly trapping? Not necessarily trapping, but playing it conservative, you know. Second pair on the board, 8 kicker. Now it's 3rd pair. I mean, do you have to go crazy? No. Sizing up here on the turn from Kniep. Mullaly gives it up.
Come on, baby!
Look at this.
What?
You love it.
All right, Ryo getting his fans involved here on the rail. And like we said, it was a rowdy one last night. And of course, fans are still getting warmed up here. It is early in the afternoon in Las Vegas, but we are in it for a good one. I feel as though no matter who gets the heads-up play, it's going to be exciting no matter what. If you're looking for the 25K PLO event, that's streaming later tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern on PokerGo.com. So 2 final tables today coming at you from the 2023 World Series of Poker. By the way, my name is Remco Rinkema. Donnie Peters alongside me. We're excited to bring you this coverage.
How much you played?
If you're catching us on YouTube, please don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel.
Appreciate it.
The more engagement we drive, the more people will find out about the stream and the more streaming we can do in the future. It is a simple equation. Action on Gunnis, finds pocket tens, he's going to raise it up.
Pretty much been the Paul Gunnis show so far. Ribouchon here is going to look down at 2 5s and toss those into the muck. Gunnis so far, he won a hand with ace-9, he won a hand with ace-jack, he won a hand with ace-queen. Now he picks up pocket tens. I guess it's just going to keep getting a little bit better every time.
Good to win, man.
I expect next time he peels cards, it's going to be jacks or queens. It would only make sense.
Not 1.6, 1.8.
Smirnov, meanwhile, down to just 9 big blinds. He's going to be looking for an all-in soon, and of course, ICM becoming a major factor.
Blue is 1.
I don't remember the pink of the
Were you the guy who said, like, oh, at the end of the day, I want to have stacks of the blue?
No. I was on your left. You must be against King of Jacks.
Oh,
More for Gunnis.
oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a long time ago for you. Many.
Who are you? Yeah, he's on fire. What's going on there? You gave him something in the morning, or?
Action on Smirnov, ace-queen offsuit, just 9 big blinds.
Oh my God.
When you're this short,
What
of
is
course, that is the type of hand you're looking for.
More craziness.
That's a surprise for you, yeah?
A unicorn. A unicorn.
I like it.
Oh
And
man,
the
I think we're
unicorn needs to
getting
get a
the
pink
unicorn
hat.
sighting here.
There you
Yeah,
go.
the unicorn definitely needs a pink hat.
You know they changed the color of the clock to pink. Foreshadowing.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my god. The mustaches too. You know, the,
I love it.
Wonder if Smirnov's trying to really sell this one.
I mean, there's not a whole lot to sell. He only has 9 big blinds. He has basically
that's
one
some real
move left.
protection.
6.5 million.
And in this case, it's a raise to 6.5 million.
We have seen this a bit from Smirnov, though. Yesterday he was doing a lot of these, essentially committing raises, not exactly going all in, but certainly showcasing to the rest of the table that he's willing to play for the majority of the chips.
Danger zone.
Text him and let him know the start we got off to, and then can you put what we are in chips and just keep updated on that? Like I can ask, but it's easier. I think like 40 and a half.
Yeah, I'm gonna step into the like net corner. I'm gonna try to get it.
Okay, cool.
Ribouchon with the decision there, and he decides to fold ace-9 of spades. Unless these players find a real playable hand for stacks, they're obviously not going to get involved. Smirnov's range extremely tight, sitting on just 9 big blinds, and he's going to take this one down without showdown.
Two waters, please.
You always have ideas.
Thank you.
I say Tony.
If you're just tuning in, this is the final table of the Millionaire Maker. More than 10,000 players enter this event. It is the biggest $1,500 no-limit hold'em event at the World Series of Poker. There are 2 prizes above $1 million today, and the final 7 are guaranteed $222,000 already. But Donnie, obviously, with payouts like this, it's going to really affect the play we're going to see as the day develops.
Yeah, players are certainly going to want to money up, especially those middle stacks, everywhere from Ribouchon down to Mullaly. Now you got Smirnov and Coutinho, 12 and 10 big blinds, respectively. So those are the 2 players with the most pressure on them right now.
What's happening?
You know this is where you belong today.
Coutinho here is on the button, king deuce
Just
off.
having a good
He
time.
elects to fold.
I like the glasses.
Plesuv here in the small blind.
Oh.
Could see him attack this big blind here. There it is. Going to attack Smirnov. Smirnov's going to find the queen 7 of clubs. Doesn't look too happy with it. Nope. Into the muck it goes.
All important.
I suspect that in those situations, small blind versus big blind, Plesuv versus Smirnov, Plesuv is going to put a ton of pressure on the shorter stacked Smirnov. So
1.6, right?
I think if you're Smirnov, you have to be prepared. We see the unicorn right there. Look at that
Oh,
thing.
wow.
It's like 7 feet tall. You'll love it. Absolutely love it.
Look at the captain there in the middle.
Oh, yes.
We've got a very colorful reel. What is this, Burning Man? Burning Man scenes breaking out as the chat is wondering about the age of Mullaly. Donnie, he's 21 years old, turned 21 in December.
21 in December. He only has results on his Hendon Mob this year, starting in January. So turned 21, hit the ground running, has a handful of cashes since then. I said it at the top of the stream. I'm going to say it again. He is my call for Breakout Player of the Year.
The unicorn.
And I don't even know what's going to happen in this event yet.
Donnie, we need an interview on the podcast
Stick it the
with
other
him.
way around.
I want to learn more about Myles Mullaly.
Hey.
Ribouchon, meanwhile, raising it up.
We got
I do want to say quickly on Kniep, he wrote to us, came to visit Burning Man, got stuck in San Fran.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
that's pretty much how he got here.
I believe it. I believe it.
Does that look?
Came over from Germany, went to Burning Man, ends up in San Fran as a software engineer, and the rest is history.
Gunness here is going to defend from the big blind.
No, here.
Not at all. You know, it doesn't. You have to put the.
No, he is under the gun.
I'm big blind. Oh, because you sorry. He raised, sorry.
Ribouchon saying, you got to put the flop out,
I
man.
definitely wasn't.
Yeah.
10-8-3 rolls off the deck here. 1 club.
Check.
Pretty favorable for Gunnis's range, I'd say, defending from the blinds. Especially if he wants to take a stab here on the turn. I would not be surprised.
I would like betting this turn after the flop goes check, check.
$2.7.
Gunnis is going to lead here for 2.7. Ribouchon is sitting here with ace high, and he's going to come along to see the river card. Curious to see how this is going to play out. A 6 of clubs completes the board. Gunnis left with just queen high. Donnie, are we going to keep firing here?
I think it's fine to keep firing here. I think that's how you're going to end up winning this hand. I think Ribouchon's hand looks a lot like ace high.
We're going to go 11 million here.
I was going to say, you know, it might look, I mean, I think you got to go a little bit bigger. 7 plus.
7.5 million.
There you go.
I'll leave
at least half pot there. You know, one good thing that does help Gunnis here is he has a 9 in his hand. Not that you're necessarily worried about Ribouchon having a 9-7 in this spot, but pocket 9s could possibly play their hand like this, raise under the gun, just check back the 10 high flop, call the turn, but you're blocking that, so that's a good spot for you. There you go.
And Gunnis' good run continues here to start off this final table. Donnie, in a matter of hands, he is now up over 50 million chips.
Yep, all without showdown. He has doubled his stack.
Well, what did you have for breakfast, Paul? I want to have some of that.
He has not gone to showdown
Bagel Mania
one
Las
time.
Vegas.
Bagel Mania.
And only one hand of the
We need
5
a
he's
lot
played
in
now,
that.
he's
Seems
actually
to be
made it
working
to the
for you.
river. Everything else he's won before the river. So really well done by Gunnis.
Let me give you guys an interesting stat here. We are on hand number 11 of this final table. Paul Gunnis has already won 5 hands.
Crazy. Says he lives in his parents.
I did too when I was 21.
No, Paul Gunnis is 25.
Oh, sorry, Paul Gunnis. I was thinking of Mullaly. I mean, if you think rake is high, just think about how much the cost of living is these days. Plesuv is going to raise it up with queen 3 suited. We're going to see Plesuv basically raise every chance he gets. He's not one to pass up on spots. He's someone who's going to be keep the pressure on all the players at the table.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a ton of pressure on Plesuv as there might be on some of the shorter stacks at the table. That said, when you have a big chip lead like Plesuv has, and you see someone coming to the table like Gunnis has, and immediately start to run up their stack, yeah, it does make your position at the top of the leaderboard a little bit more wobbly, I guess I'll say. So, he'll want to pick his spots nicely, which I suspect will do. Good positional selection, good hand selection. Lots of experience for Plesuv.
After the hand quickly, and then I forget. But so when I put a lot of chips in, like
here with the
you
ace
don't
9
see
off,
what I-
going to come in with another
chips
raise.
I put in.
I can't see because your back is really difficult.
Plesuv again with the raise, ace 9 offsuit. By the way, much love to everyone in the chat. We see you all out there. Might do some giveaways later in the stream across our platforms.
I got a hell yeah, brother.
But for now, let me set a goal on YouTube. Can we get to 1,000 likes on
nice.
YouTube in the next 2 hands? So 2 hands to hit 1,000 likes. Let's do it. Let's spread the love on today's Millionaire Maker stream and make sure that everyone else finds out about it as well. So far, so good for Plesuv. And Mullaly finding ace 7 off in the big blinds. He might not want to give the impression that he is, easily giving up on his blinds
right.
every time.
Cool, yeah, no worries. I hope I'm still here afterwards.
Does let this one go.
All right, let's give the guys good luck.
Thanks, Al.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Can you ask your rail to I can't see the clock. just to lean a little bit. Lean a little that way. My friend, can you lean a little this way so I can see the clock? Thank you. Thank you.
We're playing 800K, 1.6 million with a 1.6 million big blind ante. The blinds go up every hour. The average stack right now is 22.7 big blinds to be extremely exact. And Coutinho finds pocket queens under the gun.
Under the gun with 10 big blinds. Feeling great about this one. Let's see how Coutinho wants to approach this one.
Donnie, if you're Coutinho here, how can you look the weakest is sort of my question.
If you want to look the weakest,
Shoving,
you
right?
might just want to move it all in. I also think min raising is fine here with such a premium like queens, but we'll see which plan of attack. Looks like it's going to be the min raise.
All right, queens under the gun. Coutinho is going to decide to raise, but for all the chat pros out there, what would you do with 10 big blinds? Give us a raise size, or perhaps just the word all in, or maybe you're a mega nit and you're just going to fold. I think I would definitely shove. I think this looks even stronger. As a strong player, Coutinho's never going to be just randomly trying to steal under the gun. I feel like that is not something that we see anymore these days. The chips are just worth too much.
Yeah, but I think as we saw yesterday with Martin Stasholm, there are some hands you could open with a min raise here. It's like ace 9 off, better ace 10 off, stuff like that. I don't know if specifically Coutinho would do that. I just know that we did see it from Stasholm.
The real question is, Donnie, what does GTO Wizard say about queens under the gun with 10 big blinds?
I think it's a raise.
One for Brazil.
One for Brazil, is that what we got here?
Coutinho is allowed to pick this one up. And in case you're new to one of our partners, check out gtowizard.com/PokerGo. You can try their website for free for 24 hours and take 10% off when you sign up. They are the industry leader in game theory solutions. And it's a very easy to use platform that can teach you a lot about the game and specific decisions you have to make.
Tony.
Chat is pretty unanimous about shoving. Shove all day, shove every day, all in, all in. Some people trying to get frisky here by limping.
I mean, aces and kings for sure min raise. I mean, I know you only have 10 big blinds, but those hands are pretty safe. You know, the vulnerability in them is much less. Queens, you know, the vulnerability does go up, of course. Jacks, I think, for sure. Put your money in. Queens, I mean, I don't hate the min raise. I like it. I think that that's the way that I would probably lean. You also have to consider that, yes, you can look at charts, you can look at solvers, etc., but that will generally give you a baseline, and then you're likely going to have to adjust your play accordingly based on the players that you're playing against, the table that you're at, the situation. I think this table and these players, the way that we've seen things going, a min raise there is perfectly, you know, within line of everything. Kniep going to attack from the small blind here.
Donnie, 8-3 offsuit, of course. Awful hand. Is it still good enough to attack with in this situation?
Well, you're taking a polarized approach, you know. If you're more middling hands, marginal hands, you know, good but not great, probably going to limp with. And then your raises are probably going to be polarized. Really good or really bad.
Coutinho probably realizing the same thing. Do you like Ryo sizing here, Donnie?
Yeah, go, you know, I think you got to go a little bit larger out of position.
And look at Coutinho here, defending from the big blind. He only has 12 big blinds to start the hand, and all of a sudden here we have 10 million chips in the middle and a whole lot to fight for as Ryo flops a flush draw, which might be crucial for how this hand plays out.
Oh, yes. That flop flush draw seems like it'll be the path to victory for Kniep.
My gut says shove.
Yeah, I mean, you only have the 8-high flush draw.
Right.
I mean, you can push off some other hands, you know. Maybe you push a guy off a king.
My thinking is, even if the guy calls with the king, you still have the flush draw.
Well, yeah, if he calls with an ace, you know, you still have a flush draw.
Very good. Very, very good.
You know, anything here is... The only thing you just don't want him to call with is, like, queen jack of clubs, but I think a hand like that probably just gets it in pre-flop.
Right, but that's also why I wasn't really mentioning the ace, because I feel as though a lot of aces would reshove there from the big blind.
Yeah, I mean, Coutinho has played pretty conservative, which I like his style here overall, you know, going back to yesterday as well, so. Just can't see him continuing. He
Come on!
Ryo's just a great character for our game. Leading his own chance to his rail, getting him pumped up. Love to see it.
If you're screaming for me, it must be Ryo.
One of the great things about the World Series of Poker, it brings people from all over the world to these final tables.
I'm Ryo, yeah.
Ryo, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro. I didn't mean to call you the wrong thing yesterday.
Yeah, it's like the nickname I go by.
Got it.
Given name is Andreas.
Got it.
It's like, I don't know if you saw yesterday in
The nickname I usually go by is Sexy, but I don't make people call me it. You know what I mean?
Oh, we will from now on.
So that's a nice nickname.
Sexy PG.
Sexy Gunness.
Yesterday in the stats, you know. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Hold on, let me play my hand here with $1 million on the
In
line.
the chip counts, they had Andreas Kniep, and then I also had Ryo Kniep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and at some point I was first and second. I was like, okay, I guess I'm paying for the first two places.
Yeah. You wish. You wish you could get both first and
I
second.
mean, don't wish all, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I would have like two horses in the two stacks.
Play like two separate hands at the same time. You know?
I totally forgot what the other guy had. Where's my coach? What's up? I know you don't approve.
Ryo potentially getting some coaching on the rail here. Donnie, if you're in this spot, what would you want to hear from your rail? What kind of advice is useful in a big spot like that? Because, of course, you're not going to be like learning on the fly here. You just need a few small things.
Yeah, I think just very small things. I think mostly just words of encouragement. I'm very much this Coutinho here is going to basically commit himself with this raise. I'll get back to my thoughts in a second as action here falls on the big blind and chip leader, Pavel Plesuv.
Come on, man. The only problem is that doesn't happen to my left, which is the worst situation.
Plesuv gives it up. Coutinho takes it down. What I was saying is that I'm very much in the moment during a tournament. I don't like to get too deep into strategy because I just like to focus and play.
Guinness, like the beer.
I fully am aware that may have some negative ramifications where like I may not be able to adjust as quickly.
Sexy, it all works.
Not be able to fix some mistakes. But I'd rather just focus and not be left second guessing myself. If like I'm talking to a friend, he's like, "Oh, you should have done this," and then I'm kind of beating myself up over a hand or whatever. So I'll just play through it and then kind of evaluate the play afterwards. That said, words of encouragement are always awesome, and then little things, tiny things. But I really wouldn't want to get like too deep down, nitty gritty into a hand because you got to focus at the task at hand. I think it's also worth it to have
3.2.
kind of a selectively short memory when you're playing, because you got to forget about mistakes. If you do make them, you got to forget about bad beats, of course. And you have to move on. Of course, you do want to adjust on the fly, but you also can't let the past affect you and just try to play your best game every hand going forward.
Mullaly, meanwhile, finds ace-queen offsuit. He's going to come in for a raise. Down to 25 million. Or sorry, 28 million, of course. Has 3 million invested in this hand. 17 big blinds to start this hand.
Нормально чипуем, продолжаем чиповать.
Smirnov here gives it up from the big blind, and
Они пока
Mullaly
фишки
takes that one
перекочевывают
down.
от одного к другому. Мы смотрим, где можно взять.
If you're just joining us on our stream, we very much appreciate it. Do let us know in the chat where you're watching from. I always love finding those gem places we haven't seen before. And I know most of you will say they're watched from the moon, but hey.
What you playing now?
Yeah.
50 before the
Call you out on
50
that
before
joke. Anyway, if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 1,000 likes. Let's hit 1,000 likes right now. Let's get moving. And of course, we still have our big goal of the summer to hit 500,000 YouTube subscribers. So if you love poker, you have to be a subscriber to our YouTube channel. There's no other way. Mullaly finds the jacks.
Okay.
50 before the hand. So minus the blinds. Yeah.
Mullaly, for a 21-year-old kid,
that?
Don, he's so deliberate.
Took up to 50, yeah. So what is that, 46.8?
I start.
Behind. 4 million?
I'm getting some James Mackey vibes from Mullaly.
Oh, look at this, Remco.
Oh, wow. Jacks and tens in the mix here. Potential pair-over-pair clash at this final table. Rio has 25 big blinds. Let's see how he's going to approach this with 2 tens. Rio taking his time here. Donnie, pocket tens, not an automatic hand as far as the way you play it.
Mullaly opened to a slightly larger size than what we've been seeing so far. He made it 2.5x. Rio's gonna come with a 3-bet here. 10.2 million. So Mullaly coming in 2.5x on his raise. Kniep about 2.5x the original raise. And now Coutinho picks up ace-king behind. Coutinho only has 10 big blinds. Almost 11 big blinds. Oh, wow.
Donnie, is this best case scenario for Rio?
Like 32.
It could be, in a way, it could also be worst case scenario for Mullaly.
Right.
Like, he could end up somehow getting away from these jacks. I'm not sure he will, but there is a path for it now.
That's a sort of a wrinkle I hadn't even considered. I was just thinking jacks versus ace-king, let's go. We're going to get this all in. Rio's going to get away from his tens, but I hadn't even considered yet how strong it's going to look when Coutinho moves in over the top.
And Coutinho's been playing relatively snug yesterday and today. So, you know, your jacks are great, of course, but they look a little bit less great when you immediately get 3-bet, and then the guy behind you is what we think is going to 4-bet all in here. So this is a very fun hand, exciting one.
Ladies and gentlemen, give us some predictions in the chat. What's going to happen here? I think we can all sort of get a little bit of a sense for what Coutinho's going to do, but then we have two players with big pocket pairs. and big decisions to make. 17 million, only 400K left behind. We still have 3 more players left to act behind.
Is this one of those weird spots? If we were to see Mullaly go all in, Kniep go all in, would Coutinho fold to get the pay jump? I don't know.
Wow, those jacks are gone in a heartbeat.
See? Here we go.
And Ryo makes the call. Mullaly's going to see that his jacks would have actually been ahead. We've got an absolutely massive showdown on our hands.
Mullaly getting rid of the jacks. A ton of aggression behind you.
Well done, Donnie, spotting that.
21-year-old kid there, Mullaly, dry boxing club. He's going to go over and his rail.
Coutinho took his jacket off. He's feeling hot.
Ryo asked Mullaly if he had an ace. He said no and didn't want to say anything further.
Here comes the flop. Oh, there it is, third card, 9-8-3. For a second, I thought we had a 2-card flop going. 10's still in the lead here. Ronnie, if you're Mullaly, are you getting a little upset here? Deuce on the turn, as the jacks would have still been way ahead. Calls for an ace on the river. Ryo, of course, doesn't want to see that. The river card. We're tearing down the set. What is going on here?
Sorry, man.
Coutinho eliminated in 7th place. It is absolute chaos.
Good support. Sorry, guys.
The Brazilian pro takes home $222,000 as the final 6 are guaranteed $287,000. Ryo beat massive hand.
Ryo! You know, it's no longer you are the problem. I am the problem now.
The set is coming apart.
We have the money to pay for it.
Wow, this thing got out of control real quick.
Somebody needs to tell these guys the set design is currently not in the state. Okay?
Right.
So like, go.
I'm so sorry, man. I'm not going to step on it again. Sorry, man.
Ryo, we're gonna withhold a few $1,000s from Ryo for destroying our set.
I know. It's like, sorry, where's my payout? It's only 100,000.
Ryo already joking about the fact that there might be some withholding.
32, 34.
The jacks fold though, Donnie, seems pretty good, pretty strong.
I mean, it's really hard when you have that aggression behind you.
I love it.
Specifically Coutinho, who probably at the bottom of Coutinho's range there is the ace-king off.
Oh yeah? You got me? What are you, jacks? No fucking way. Sorry, man.
Smirnov grabbing an Advil or a Tylenol perhaps to...
Yeah,
you just heard.
Oh yeah, that tournament runs very different.
Tell Kniep that he had jacks. And
I'm obviously ready.
Kniep apologizes.
Wow.
You need to apologize
Holy
to poker too.
shit. Don't even want to think about that part. You probably want to think about that.
If you're enjoying this absolute mess of a final table so far, let's get to 1,500 likes here during the upcoming hand. The only reason I asked for it is because more people will see the stream. Gonna do some giveaways later on.
Next time, get your cards right.
But it seems as though chat is largely agreeing on the fact that the jacks do end up in the muck.
Oh my god.
Donnie, what about queens?
I'm never folding queens there. I'm sorry. I mean,
No, right.
I know jacks is more difficult. I get it, but queens for sure. I don't think you can.
20, 40, 50, 60, yeah? 60. Hey, Yeah, the guy who folded jacks. Are you fucking
I mean,
kidding me?
FSX say what? Basically says what everyone is thinking. There's no right way to play jacks. It always seems like you're going to do something wrong or something's going to happen that you don't like, you know.
Meanwhile, Ryo up to 65 million chips, bridging the gap with chip leader Pavel Plesuv. Ryo still on cloud 9 from that massive hand he just won.
My God.
Yeah, it must feel like he's back at Bernie, man.
I think I've heard the word destiny in the background.
I mean, it's a good hand.
I know, Jackson. I do not.
But the other guy's shorter than him. That's the only reason to fold ace king. But yeah.
What a world.
What a world. We live in the right world.
I mean, it's crazy because if Coutinho doesn't pick up the ace-king there, it's likely all in, jacks versus tens, and Ryo's losing a ton of chips.
That's the story.
Also, if Mullaly doesn't fold the jacks, if the ace-king still is found by Coutinho, he goes all in, you know, then Ryo probably just folds his tens there. Tough fold, but
Having invested 10 million chips already.
Yes, I mean, you probably have to fold that there. You know, I'm not sure if he exactly pulls the trigger on the fold, but I think it would be a fold ultimately, and then he's out 10 million. But as the situation played out, he wins a massive pot. He scores a double up, gets the table a pay jump, and he's up to second in chips.
Total chaos. Action continues here with Smirnov still the short stack. He's going to really enjoy the fact that he just laddered up a little bit.
Of course. Sitting there with a sub 10 big blind stack, I mean, you'll take all the ladders that you can get.
Smirnov wants to go all in, but feels as though he needs to show a little bit more patience.
60. Probably a little more, but I don't know. Yeah.
Ribouchon finds ace-queen of hearts. Last I checked, it's a pretty great hand when you're playing six-handed.
Of course, especially when it folds to you on the button. Sitting on 20 big blinds here is Ribouchon.
Leave left.
I think those are my favorite kinds of cheers when you just win the blinds and antes because it's not hurting anyone.
Yeah.
If you're cheering for someone to get knocked out, you always feel a little bit bad.
I love all the cheers. Just give them all to me.
Absolutely. I mean, we're basically counting down the days until we get to the main event final table where we're going to see similar scenes as Smirnov, our short stack, finds two red aces. Donnie,
what a sight to see when you have 7 big blinds.
How much posturing and Hollywooding will we see right now? Because
see a little bit. I mean, we saw a little bit earlier, and I think the way that Smirnov has been playing these hands, probably a committing raise, not all in would be my guess. I mean, that's just what he's been doing in the situations where he looks like he wants to play first chips. He'll put, like, you know, 5 million out there or something.
4,000, 8,000, 8,000.
Combien de temps la clope? Combien de temps la clope, s'il te plaît?
There is that raise.
20, 40, 50.
To 6.5 million.
62.
a little more than half a stack in the middle here.
62-2.
Oh, and Mullaly is finding pocket eights. Given Smirnov's tight image, Donnie, could you get away from pocket eights is my question.
No. I mean, you kind of hate looking down and seeing eights here. I would suggest that there's probably next to zero chance that he has a worse pair than 8s. Like, I don't think he's doing this with 7s. I think we've seen Smirnov play pretty snug, so you're likely up against 2 overs. And do you want to take that flip? Obviously, there's going to be the times when you're behind here and you're crushed by an overpair, which is what we see here. See if Mullaly can figure this one out. He's been very good all throughout yesterday and today, so let's see if that can continue.
20 million?
Oh, he's going to go and fight for this one. Makes it 20 million, committing his stack to this pot. Let's await and see if anyone else wants to get involved here. But if they don't, there it is. Smirnov's going to move all in. Mullaly is going to be calling with pocket 8s. And Smirnov with aces in a great spot to double up.
Yeah, what the fuck is
This is where tournaments can just be so cruel. He folds those jacks when it would have been the best hand. He would have won a huge pot. Now here he picks up the 8s. He runs into a better pair. I mean, tournaments can just be so brutal. Of course, if he does lose with the 8s, he would have chips left.
All right, let's see the flop here. 10-6 king. Backdoor straight draw still a possibility, but Smirnov well on his way to a double up here. Turn card, the 5 of hearts. An 8 and an 8 only will send Smirnov to the rail, or else he'll be a real contender again. The river card is the king of clubs, and Smirnov gets a round of high fives from his rail. And play will continue 6-handed. Brutal couple of hands there for our American youngster, just 21 years old, now down to 15 big blinds. Excuse me, down to 7 big blinds after losing half his stack. He was on 15 big blinds. Wow, folding the jacks, then getting it in with 8s. You've got to feel for him. But he seems unfazed.
He's good. 50-something, so.
I might have jinxed him with the breakout player of the year call, but let's go.
And then 62.
Keep it. You're good.
He started at 70, and he has last time he said something was 50, 52 or something. I asked him. What do you have right now, Paul, roughly?
50 even.
And Pavel?
The only thing I wish we had in live poker is some sort of digital rail that displayed player stack sizes so that we'd never have to answer the question again. I mean, how much chips do you have?
That's why everyone that plays poker tournaments should just spend a year being a tournament reporter. You and I can just look across the table and be like, oh, he's got like 49 million.
Sorry, guys.
You know.
It is not hard to count chips. It really is not. By the way, if you're just tuning in,
as always,
this is the Millionaire Maker final table. $272,000 guaranteed for these remaining 6 players.
Over here, the French guy. And that guy does double up and has 16 wins.
4.2.
15, 25. He has like 26 over there. He's down to 12. So the French guy is probably the...
Plesuv just shared a fist bump with Smirnov there after he doubled up. Of course, these players both speak Russian, but Plesuv is not going to give him any easy hands to win, raising it up on the very next hand with 6-4 offsuit. I always love that. You can be friends off the table, but once it comes to the play, you're just going to go into attack mode. We know that Smirnov is always taking his time, so raise, fold, or call, it's always going to take him a bit longer than most players.
I'm wondering if that's too loose.
At some point, if this situation keeps happening, folding Plesuv in the small blind, he's constantly attacking Smirnov in the big blind. I mean, you have to fight back somehow, some way, right? You can't just let him bully you nonstop.
How many minutes to the break?
The 25K PLO final table streams exclusively
1 hour?
and live on PokerGO tonight, 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Wait.
Don't miss out. $2.3 million
the
on the
blinds up,
line
or?
at that final table.
Are the blinds up?
Next hand, I
It'll
guess.
be a great one as well.
Yeah, I mean, all right, where's the floor?
Next hand, I guess.
I mean, why don't we announce it's one table? I mean.
Well, we already dealt
No,
this
it's-
hand.
Yeah, I mean,
We already dealt the hand. We're already, yeah.
Sure. I'm just saying, I what? Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, I did something else. So.
You
Come after my blind. Ray.
No,
Relax.
yeah, I'm sorry, Paul. It's like, it's like I look at the clock. I mean, this is paying
Half the
this.
table folded already, bro.
1 and 2 million are nice blinds, right?
Oh, that's next.
I mean, they are nicer than like 8, 16.
Oh, no.
I mean, they make my stack look short though.
6 deuce. The nuts. Let's go, baby.
You gotta walk.
I didn't even know I won. I was like, what the hell? All right.
You're still like, I don't want to pay more for my blinds that I get back.
Yeah. I still don't want to pay more for it. What is it now?
2, 1, 2.
1, 2?
All right, blinds will go up to 1 million, 2 million with a 2 million big blind ante. Stacks are getting a little bit shorter.
I don't play trash hands, only nuts.
What do you say?
Me too.
What did you say? Don't play trash hands?
No, he said why I didn't open the button. I said I play only good hands.
He knew I had the powerful 6 deuce, bro. He
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
have to fight with it. Same as you, you know? It's like, it's a powerful hand, you know?
Oh man. I'm happy you were always sweating me when I had the 10s because the SP. Thank you for your support.
Action on Mullaly, who just has 6 big blinds.
You're always so alone, right? In the moment that you're the shortest stack all in. Yeah, sure. What is this?
Wild guess. What do you think? No lemon. No lemon.
We have lemons in the room. Tell Bex to bring the lemons.
Mullaly made it 10 million to go with only a little bit left behind.
Smart. With the knife.
Oh, wow. Ribouchon's going to make the call right away. And we have ace queen versus ace queen.
Oh, it's all in.
Там чоп, скорее всего, будет.
Looks like Ribouchon is
Ace
calling
queen,
for
ace queen versus ace queen.
diamond or club versus the spades.
Open вот это.
Channeling Rihanna might be helpful here for the Frenchman. Let's see what the flop brings. Diamonds.
2 more diamonds.
What? I got nuts.
Там просто 2 бубы у одного буба, поэтому они типа рейли.
That's sick. Nuts over nuts.
All right.
MVP?
Button's good.
Mexican vacation. Я вначале не понял, что за слово.
Shout out to Heather
Прикольно,
Hamo
прикольно, я подумал.
gifting 5 PokerGO
Hall of Fame
YouTube
too, right?
community memberships.
1, 1, 2.
Love it. Much appreciated. That is
1,
awesome.
2, 2. Yeah.
I see that Terry and Spin 0481. Justin D, RP Poker, and Paul Hare were gifted those YouTube community subs.
9.9.
By the way,
Behind,
let's see if we can hit 2,000 likes here during this next hand. It's been a fun final table already. We're at the final 6 of the Millie Maker. The top 2 spots get paid at least $1 million. Whenever this final table gets rowdy and rough, it sounds like our commentary is hard to hear, but at least it's a fun time. Can't really say that this happens all too often
Nice. Will be a new record for
at
me
the
in
World
my
Series of
eyes.
Poker that we have in a rail like this, Donnie.
Not that I care about such things. Yeah, you might all met Jordan. Yes.
Plesuv raising it up to 5 million, 2.5x, applying massive pressure on the other players. Oh, wow.
Yeah, but you say it all the time. I don't know when you
Ed
want me
Rojas
to-
just raised it up, donating 10 PokerGO YouTube community memberships.
Love to see it.
Hello.
No.
Hello.
It's too
If
often.
you benefited from one of those community
You have to come up with new material.
gifted subs, memberships, drop those special unique emojis in the chat. Show us what you got.
Yeah, Donnie made some new emojis for YouTube chat, and he promised me that these are coming soon to PokerGo as well.
I had a talk with the dev team today.
Oh,
they are
yeah,
in the works.
Okay.
Some guy broke it on the rail. Some guy broke his strawberry margarita on the rail and just went everywhere. They just bounced. Yeah, it just bounced.
No.
Yeah, it was on the street.
He took it off.
This happened? Oh, I was on the other table, I assume.
Oh, maybe you were.
Smirnov gave up
That's
the king
because there were
queen,
four,
and
and then
Gunnis
there
here
was
has
three.
2 sevens.
Oh my God.
Okay.
And then,
Given the stack sizes here,
5 million, right?
playable hand, good spot to just flat. You are certainly deep enough.
Oh my God.
Gunnis makes the call on the button.
Chelsea. You met Jordan?
Looks like both blinds are going to get out of the way
Jordan,
here.
meet Chelsea.
Mullaly has just shy of 10 big blinds left to play with. He lets it go. We're going to see heads-up action on this flop here between the top stack and the third biggest stack.
Oh yeah, Taguel. I live with a French.
Ace, 6, 3, 2 hearts.
I always said.
Plesuv with 2
I
hearts.
always said Legolas, you know, when I didn't like something, and I was like, Legolas? Legolas. You know Legolas from the movie?
Legolas.
They used to always like, Legolas. I'm like, Legolas?
It looks like Ku Klux Klan, you know? It looks like Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah, but we're not a cult.
Yeah.
Not a quiz.
3 million is the continue here from Plesuv, and Gunnis checks his cards. He does have that 7 hearts in his hand.
I hope you're going to make the heads up with him.
Oh yeah, that would be fun. German,
A
French,
worthy spot to
bilateral
continue, and there it is. He's going to make the call.
Would be the best raise too. Would be the best support.
10 of diamonds on the turn, another overcard for Gunnis. Donnie, if you're Plesuv with the flush draw here and being the pre-flop raiser, are you just going to keep barreling here to represent the ace and have the equity for the flush draw?
You could. I mean, if he does barrel here,
It's
I
good
expect
to,
he's going to put
it's
a lot
good to
more
take a rest.
pressure on Gunnis.
Hands.
Size up.
To take a rest.
21 million in the pot.
These pay jumps are insane.
Pas d'air de te faire chier. Tu me guettes pas.
How did you do it when you won your WPT thing?
C'est vrai que c'est chiant.
Just didn't give a shit.
Also did size down the flop. Now it looks like he's coming with a little bit more than half pot, and Gunnis quickly gives it up.
You had 3 million chips?
Plesuv adding some more chips to his chip lead, and there he is. He has his own cheering section as well.
At this point, if you play a hand with Plesuv, I think it's fairly reasonable to always expect size down flop, size up turn. That's generally what I think a player of his caliber and experience will go with in most spots. I mean, some spots will dictate different, but he has done that a few times going back to yesterday as well. So if you're somebody like Gunnis, you know, you're calling that flop, you should also be prepared for what's coming on the turn, you know, because if he does bet the turn, you know it's going to be probably 50 to 70% pot in that range. So just be prepared, knowing, you know, trying to think a street or two ahead.
We're playing 1 hour levels here. The blinds just went up to 1 million, 2 million with a 2 million big blind ante. The current average stack is only 21
Still like
big blinds.
60, right?
Last time I counted was 62, now I paint the blinds.
Okay.
58, I get 60.
All eyes on Myles Mullaly with
Ну, то есть открылся
just shy of 5 big
того все равно
blinds.
уже закрывать, но там, если мин-рейз дожидать, то как бы все равно, мне кажется, надо закрывать один из блайндов, ну, один из миллионов. Поэтому дал повыше, чтобы он что-то выкинул. Этот зашел. Здорово. С приездом. Ауру привез? Спасибо, стараемся.
Gunnis raising it up with king-9 offsuit. Of course, defending gets harder and harder as the blinds go up. You don't want to commit some of those valuable chips to mediocre hands. Smirnov, despite just doubling up, still only has 11 big blinds. By the way, if you're with us in the chat, let us know who you are rooting for. I'm gonna guess that Rayo has a lot of fans. I think Mullaly might have picked up a few, being the young American kid. I'm sure we have some Frenchies watching right now. Gunness has impressed me so far today. I think he's picked up a few people that are on his side. And then we have Plesuv and Smirnov as well. Plesuv, the consummate professional, seems to be in full control. Smirnov takes a bit of time, I can imagine. He may not have as many fans.
I mean, it's funny because he, in terms of like taking time, which we've seen over the course of these streams and other streams outside of the World Series of Poker, but when you start taking time, the viewership tends to not like you. But then he's Russian. He's wearing like the Teddy KGB like jacket, who's kind of the villain in Rounders. So is he playing the villain in this movie of The Millionaire Maker?
Bring this man some Oreos. Action here between Gunness and Plesuv. Gunness raised to 4 million before the flop. Plesuv called from the big blind with a very mediocre looking 8-2 suited, but he has managed to hit a pair.
2 hours ago, good luck to them.
Donnie, how do you feel about Gunness here? Quickly checking behind on this flop.
Yeah.
I think against someone like Plesuv, I wouldn't be acting super
Why doesn't he
quickly
shop?
because
Why isn't he
timing tells are a thing.
Yeah.
Plesuv bets 3.5 million on the turn with just ace high, with a pair of deuces. He has the best hand. Gunness with ace high.
No,
he's going to let this one go. And Donnie,
no,
I don't know how to really explain it, but it feels as though Plesuv knows exactly what to do in every spot.
Yeah, you can tell he just knows flop textures and board textures in general. He knows sizings extremely well. I mean, we expected that, knowing what we know about Plesuv, the experience that he brings to this table. We've seen it in this event. Picks his spots extremely well. One hand that stuck out yesterday was he raised the button. I think it was Paul Gunness 3-bet big blind, and Plesuv came back with a small-sized 4-bet with the king 10 off. Remember that one? That was a really good one. Very well timed there. As I said off the top, I think Plesuv is going to be an absolute handful for his opponents to play against, and he has proven to be just that.
Exciting news for our PokerGo viewers. Tonight's PLO 25K final table, commentary by David Tuckman and Dylan Wiseman.
Oh, wow.
Probably
Dylan Wiseman went deep in that event. Now he's going to hop in the booth.
Went deep in that event, bubbled the final table.
One of the best PLO minds out there, if not the best, is Dylan Wiseman. So if you're interested in PLO and learning about it, Dylan's the guy to listen to.
All right, here we go. Ribouchon raising with 9s. Mullaly, ace-5 of hearts. Looks like a premium hand when you're that short stacked. But this is going to come down to a showdown.
Yeah.
Smirnov, ace-8 deuce. That's going to go into the muck. Ribouchon quickly makes the call. And before I get overpowered by the crowd, Mullaly looking for a heart, a wheel, ace, or else his day will be done.
Oh my God.
Break the set altogether.
90,000 more.
Oh, wow. Jack 6-5 with 2 hearts. Mullaly, almost the best possible flop for him. 13 outs twice now.
What pick?
Turn card. It's the ace of spades. And Mullaly makes the 9. A 9 and a 9 only will send the young American to the rail. The river card.
C'est la main qui fait le plus de bronze.
Mais oui,
Oh my God.
speechless. We are down to the final 5 in this event. Mullaly takes home $287,000 for his 6th place finish.
Hey,
the remaining 5 are guaranteed $373,000.
When the beat drops in the song, right?
Oh.
Wow. Man. What do you want to know? What do you want to know?
What are we at? What are we guaranteed now? Money.
370.
Money. Let's talk about money.
J'étais presque un peu dégoûté de devoir call.
Except for Pavel, we all have a new record in payouts. I just passed mine.
I love the sort of joint experience here.
Yeah, it's so
I just
great.
passed
Myles
mine.
clearly studied on all of his opponents. He knows exactly what their biggest career score is. He knew once he got 5 players that, other than Pavel Plesuv, have earned a career best score.
Wow,
Final
are you
game
not
always.
entertained? If you love the action,
How often does
smash
that
that
happen?
like button. Let's bring this stream to 2,000 likes.
There was also a career score for Myles Mullaly.
J'avais un si bon feeling.
Prior best was
60
about
million.
19,000.
Flop pas trop. Mais quand ça avait...
Myles Mullaly, day 7 of the main event, coming right up.
I'm sure we're going to see him again, and I would guess that we're probably going to see him again at the World Series of Poker this year, because he certainly showed us something in this event.
8 do so, baby. Playing tight. Playing tight is right.
Non, c'est pas toi.
I love how Gunnis is showing a bit more personality. Of course, relaxed by the fact that he's making a whole bunch of money, another pay jump secured. You got to just feel for these guys. This is like a once-in-a-lifetime moment, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to play for this kind of money. And the fact that they're having a good time, the fact that they're treating it like a party, it just makes it so much more fun to watch.
Pay jump now, about $128,000.
Oh my God.
So we are now in 6-figure pay jump territory.
Pavel Plesuv, probably the lowest heart rate of any of these remaining players. He's been in spots like this before. Donnie, how much of an advantage do you think it's going to be, having been through this in the past?
I think it's a big advantage. I also think that, I know Plesuv hasn't said anything, you know, mostly. You know, he's kind of just sitting over there on his side of the table. It probably makes him feel like he has an even bigger edge when he hears the other players talking about this experience. Not that they shouldn't be enjoying it and having a blast like they are, but Plesuv seems like he's taking the act like you've been there before approach, which he has been there. He has been deep in huge tournaments before, where if the other players are talking about how much money they're making, talking about having their career best score, he's probably in the back of his mind thinking like, I'm going to really be able to apply some leverage now with this stack going forward.
Absolutely, and Smirnov now the short stack with 11 big blinds. A little bit of a gap between him and Paul Gunnis. Gunnis on 18 bigs. The stat I shared earlier, when we had played only 10 hands and Gunnis had won half of them. Right now we're on a hand 31, and Plesuv has won a third of them.
37-8, I think.
And Plesuv, you know, much like how Gunnis started, Plesuv hasn't,
Yeah.
I don't think he's gone to any showdowns. He's just picked up pots, he's picked his spots.
57.
So a very methodical grind up for Plesuv.
Action folds to Ribouchon, who finds 8s in the small blind. Things are going well for the Frenchman.
He limps in, and Kniep is in the big with King-5 off. Ribouchon started this hand 22 big blinds, and Kniep has him covered by a little bit.
Ribouchon, by the way, has 3 summers worth of World Series of Poker cashes, but has not had a breakout score yet. But that, of course, is changing right now. His biggest score to date financially at the WSOP was a min cash in last year's main event. His largest win by prize money was actually a deep stack win in October of 2021. Ribouchon has been knocking on the door making plenty of runs in large field no limit events. But this one, of course, is going to be the one to remember.
Could see a limp jam here from Ribouchon after Kniep raises to 6 million. There is the all-in. Well played here from Ribouchon. A little bit of posturing here from Kniep. I wouldn't expect him to call this, but you know, you can't let your opponents just get it over too easy on you.
Donnie, how do you feel about Rayo deciding to attack here instead of taking the free flop?
I think it's fine to attack there. I mean, you could also just check behind and play the flop. He does give it up, and the Frenchman takes it down.
Yeah, the Frenchman is getting richer and richer as he is slowly but surely making his way towards Plesuv. Ribouchon now second in chips with 26 big blinds. Of course, you know, still a bit of a gap to be closed, but being second in chips must feel like a bit of a psychological advantage versus his German opponent that is sitting on his left.
Ribouchon goes by Kodo, was born in Nice, France, currently resides in Malta.
Wow, what does Kodo mean?
Good question.
Turn in the chat. If you know, let us know. By the way, chat has been on fire, absolutely on fire. It is hard to even keep up with. Thank you all so much for sending the love and being, you know, as emotionally invested in this final table as we are. Action folds to Gunnis, who has ace-queen offsuit. 18 bigs for Gunnis. Of course, he keeps looking over at Smirnov's stack. He doesn't want to take any unnecessary risks because, like you said, Donnie, that pay jump right now is $120,000.
Yep.
You cannot afford to make any mistakes.
Yeah, almost 130,000 on the pay jump. I mean, you do not want to stumble here knowing that Smirnov is still short. So an extra tricky spot for Gunnis to maneuver both on this hand and going forward as long as Smirnov is short behind him.
Raising right now on the big blind of the big stack. Donnie, does that make
17 million?
Oh.
17 million.
Wow, look at that. Committing raise here. Give me some reasoning and logic behind picking this specific size.
I mean, I think he really wants to limit any sort of aggression played back at him. Really just make his opponents pick up a hand. You don't want Plesuv to be able to just 3-bet you on a lighter side and use that leverage against you.
Ouais, mais non. Parce que c'est
The Juju Swing says, these dudes are living the dream.
Oh, yes.
This is exactly the poker dream that we all have. I went deep once in a little 1-for-1 drop, and even though I was still nowhere near the final table, I was already starting to pick up on that energy. There is literally nothing like going deep in a big tournament. You can play all the cash games you want, you can play all the online games you want, but going deep in a live tournament, having chips in front of you, is just a special feeling.
Ouais, j'ai entendu. Ta voix de rat.
Rayo here, ace-jack offsuit on the button. We're five-handed in a Million Maker, in case you're just tuning in. The action has been wild, and it will get even crazier as the top two players are guaranteed to take home at least $1 million. Plesuv here finds ace-jack offsuit as well. Donnie, given Plesuv's streak of aggressive moves, Rayo could be in trouble here.
Look at this. He's going to just move it all in.
Wow.
Just absolute max aggression from Plesuv. And if you're Rayo, I mean, even if you think you have the best hand, you just can't call because of Smirnov's stack. Even Gunnis has a shorter stack than you. I mean,
wow. I mean, wow.
Listen, I always say, wow. Listen, I always say, you don't stand up and fold, so.
Ouais. J'avais le spot.
Ryo going to stand up twice.
All right, this is a big one.
Does that mean he's going to call?
Wow!
Wow! Here we go!
Wow!
Oh my God!
What suits you have there? What suits you have there? Главное, чтобы не черный флоп.
I'm surprised he called.
Dude, you got to give Ryo so much respect here.
What flop you want?
Because he knows Plesuv was able to do this with much worse.
You want
I saw him. We got to get Ryo a shirt.
Making me sweat over there.
Ryo is not poor, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. What a call from Ryo. I know this is chop. It doesn't look very exciting, but hey, we still got 5 cards to come here. 10, 4, deuce, 2 hearts. Plesuv with the ace of hearts.
Always a sweat.
Да нет, chop.
Even runner.
Oh! Here we go! Plesuv cannot help but laugh. He's 1 heart away from sending Ryo to the rail. What a disaster this would be for the German. Let's see the river card. Oh, it's the 6 of spades.
Ryo, you can breathe, sir.
Oh, man.
Get the heart going a little bit, huh?
You have to work for that one.
Oh, God. Is that a good call?
Wow.
I still can't believe he called.
No, I cannot believe it either. What an insane situation. For him to call it off with an ace-jack.
Making me sweat.
Even chops not easy, right?
Huh?
Even chops are not easy,
No.
right?
Always
Oh,
when
man.
you short stack,
Nothing's
no?
easy.
When you short stack, they never easy. When you short stack.
This thing is mental.
What you got, Ryo?
Absolutely
A
mental.
lot still, right?
No, I mean, I lost 55, 56. But I lost a lot. I lost 1 year of my life because of this guy.
Paddling.
Donnie, you and I watch big high roller events all throughout the year. This sort of magic we're seeing right now, this is why I first got into poker.
Oh, yes,
This
of
is the
course.
madness that we enjoy. And Plesuv is going to keep applying the pressure, puts both players in the blinds all in.
I mean, this is what you're going to see when the action folds to Plesuv in these spots, whether it's small blind versus big blind, him against Smirnov, or button versus the 2 blind shorter stacks behind him. It's just the leverage is going to be cranked up tenfold. Plesuv with that pot now over 100 million. The first player to do so has almost 40% of the chips in play, double anyone else at the table.
Wow. Plesuv has to be the betting favorite. But of course, Donnie, if you're in his shoes, all you want to do right now is get the heads-up play.
Yeah,
Secure yourself that $1 million payout, and then whatever comes after that is totally fine.
If he maintains this sort of chip lead, this gap over his opponents when they get down to 3-handed with that pay jump, because it goes 650 to $1 million, then $1 million to 1.2. So the jump from third to second is much larger than the jump from second to first. So that could be a pretty crazy dynamic if we ultimately get there. Smirnov here, ace deuce of hearts on the button. Only 9 big blinds.
We know he's going to take his time no matter what he does, but to me this feels like a spot he cannot pass up on as it pertains to shoving. Lots of people commenting that these events are much more fun to watch than the high rollers. I think they also maintain their special nature because we only get to see them during the WSOP. You know, this is a unique environment, this is a unique situation, which makes them extra special. Gunnis lets go of his ace-deuce. Ribouchon finds king-queen offsuit in the big blind.
8-6, right? 8-6.
Big spot here for Ribouchon, Donnie. Are you gonna?
Also, it would be a very big spot for Smirnov if he puts this in here. I mean,
all in. Wow.
There it is.
He wastes almost no time.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I mean. Smirnov can't love it, but has to make the call, putting
All
half
right,
his chips in.
here we go, ladies and gentlemen. 40 million in the middle. Ace deuce versus king queen. Has ace rag ever beaten king queen? I don't think I've ever seen it happen. Can Smirnov stay alive and double up again? Let us know in the chat who you're rooting for. Smirnov 59% to secure his second double up at this final table. Here comes the flop. Oh, queen 10-9. Ribouchon immediately grabs the lead here. Smirnov needs some serious help here, or he'll be our 5th place finisher. Let's see the turn card. It is the 7 of clubs. Smirnov's down to just 3 outs. Ribouchon about to start another party there on the rail with his friends. The river Anton Smirnov eliminated in 5th place. He takes home $373,000. The remaining 4 down all guaranteed at least $500,000. Look at Gunnis. He is just celebrating this $500,000 score as if he's won the tournament. This is like Band of Brothers over here.
It's so great.
These guys are friends for life now.
Make it close to 1. Close, but 9, something like that.
You need to get top 2 to break it.
No, I'm happy with any result.
I'm saying to break your
If you're enjoying the content, please smash that like button. We're almost at 20,000 viewers. We should be having 3,000 likes right now. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. This has been a wild final table.
Now a $150,000 pay jump is next. Everyone here guaranteed $500,000. Next up is $650,000. 2 spots away from a 7-figure score. Top 2 spots are going to be walking away millionaires in this record-setting WSOP Millionaire Maker.
$500,000 guaranteed for the final 4. Paul Gunnis got off to a hot start at this final table, secured himself a place in the final 4. He is now our short stack with 18 big blinds. Donnie, looking at the stacks right now, things could calm down a little bit. We have a little bit more play.
Yeah, they could calm down a little bit. I mean, I expect Plesuv to continue with his aggression, selective aggression, but a little bit more aggressive than the other players at the table, really trying to leverage his position. Ribouchon limps the small blind here, fresh off that elimination of Smirnov. Kniep's got ace-6 off in the big. He's going to raise. Makes it $6 million. Ribouchon quickly folds his hand, and Rayo takes this one down. Shows just the 6 of clubs. We are sending 3 annual subscribers to the PGT Championship, $1 million free roll. Join now or upgrade. If you are a monthly or a quarterly subscriber to PokerGO, you can also upgrade to an annual plan. Head on over to PokerGO.com. Use that promo code DREAM30 to save yourself $30 on a new annual subscription. You'll get entered into that raffle. You can watch today's 25K PLO High Roller. You can watch the main event that's coming up in about a week or so. No better time than now. And yesterday we announced next round of high stakes duel. Daniel Negreanu versus Doug Polk, exclusively on PokerGo. $200,000 match there. That's going to take place at some time in August. But if you pick up an annual subscription now, of course, you're covered in August.
So there you go. In August, Negreanu versus Polk, high stakes duel, playing for 200K. Queen 9 here for Rayo. He limps in, and Plesuv decides to attack right away.
I find this is a very interesting spot to attack for Plesuv because you just saw Rayo clearly is like willing to go for it.
7 total.
Kniep does make the call here. He does have a dominating position on this hand. He'll have to play out of position, though, to his opponent. 9, 8, 7. Interesting flop here. Rayo flopping top pair with backdoor spades. Plesuv flopping the bottom end of an open-ended straight draw. Check, check on the flop. 5 on the turn. That does give the chip leader Plesuv the straight.
Tu joues pas, hein, tu peux les emmener. Y a pas de soleil, mec. Y a pas de soleil, mec.
Lots of chips in the middle here. 16 million is going to really be a huge swing to Rayo's stack if he's unable to find a way to win this. But I cannot see Plesuv ever letting go of his straight. There's no creativity big enough to make him get out from under this. The chop is the best thing he can hope for.
How much? 7.5 million.
7.5 million is the bet. Looks like Kniep is going to come along again and make the call here. Wow, this pot is really starting to build. River card to deuce of spades. That's not going to make a difference here. And Plesuv in a tremendous situation to extend his chip lead here. Let's see what he's going to come with.
I think any sizing is fair game here, anywhere from a smaller sizing, maybe trying to just get called, lock up some value, versus playing for all of it, because Rayo does not have that much more than a pot-sized bet behind. He's got 36.9 million behind. There is 31 million in the pot.
How do you read Rayo's range here from Plesuv's perspective? Like, how is he going to target that range, and how is he going to extract the most value? It's going to come with 18 million.
Looks like it's 17 or 18 million, so 18 million, so a little bit over half pot. I mean, here you have to try and size it where you can get called by one pair hands.
This is for, basically half of Rayo's remaining stack here on the river. Donnie, how much will the elation... Oh my God, he makes the call! And he is way off the mark here. As Plesuv shows his straight, Rayo was ready to slam top pair into his face. Meanwhile, he gets to slam it into the muck. Pavel Plesuv up to 132 million chips.
Rayo did table his hand there, so the table and Plesuv got to see that he did call with top pair, queen nine of spades on that board. I feel like that is Plesov's aggression so far playing into his hands, because Rayo, I think, is like been willing to call him light. I think we saw it with the ace-jack. I think we saw it there. Like, this guy's going to try and push me around. And that one broke very much Plesov's way, and he was able to get that call on the river.
Donnie, the theory I was just going to throw at you before Rayo made the call is, do you think that Rayo is more likely to call because it seemed as though getting to the Final Four made him so sort of elated and relaxed that he's in this mode of like, I don't know, let's just go for it?
Yeah, I mean, at some point in the tournament, you kind of have it in your mind like, okay, this is the top point in the tournament where I'm going to be trying to ladder up. I'm going to play a little bit more cautiously. Then oftentimes you get to a point in the tournament where it's like, okay, time to play for the win, which I think it seems like Rayo decided four-handed. We locked up $500,000. Let's try and go for it now.
Wow. All of a sudden, Rayo Kniep down to 9 big blinds, and Paul Gunnis, who was cheering earlier for that pay jump from 5th to 4th is now looking extremely strong to make it down to the final 3.
6.
Where's the 6 minute? 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
10 bits. 9.5. 10.
Ah, il est pas si criblé, il a 10 blindes. Il a 10 blindes. Ouais.
Yeah.
Comme il a foutu tous les jetons en bleu comme ça.
I mean,
Wow.
yeah, I know. You're right. Maybe
Every single hand has seemingly been exciting here at this final table. There's still 4 players remaining. If you're just tuning in, this is the Millie Maker final table. I promise you, you're not going to want to go anywhere. You want to ride this one out because this final table has all the makings of an epic one as we come down the home stretch here.
Lines go up?
Very impressive showing here by Plesuv.
Absolutely. By the way, we're still not at 3,000 likes yet. A little disappointing, I'm not going to lie. Let's get there right now. 3,000 likes would really help us. Almost at 20,000 viewers on our YouTube feed. Also, much love to everyone watching on PokerGo. And the PokerGo fans are the big winners today because we are streaming the 25K PLO final table tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern. David Tuckman and Dylan Wiseman on the commentary. Wiseman, arguably the best PLO tournament player in the world right now, finished on the final table bubble of the tournament last night. Slept off any frustrations he might have had about that finish and is going to be in the booth to call the action tonight, which is going to be not only very entertaining with 2.3 million on the line, but also very educational, as you might all learn a thing or two from Wiseman. Oh, yeah.
Right now, it feels like open season for Plesuv. Pretty much do whatever he wants. Have fun with that, please.
Yeah, I mean, you almost want to just raise the...
I mean, the 6-3 off here might be too bad to go into the muck, but I mean, other than that, he's going to be extremely aggressive here.
He's going to... Oh, here it is. Going to find 7s. That's very playable. I was going to joke and say Plesuv just needs to ask for 2 25 million chips and just toss those in there every time. You know, if you're Ribouchon, you can't really do anything. You can't really fight back at all.
How much is it, Rayo? How much you have?
not much, man. 15, 16, 17, 17, 7.
142. 142.
Raise.
Big committing raise here from Gunnis.
Интересно, что было?
37, yeah.
Я тоже думаю.
Ribouchon lets go of his king-queen offsuit. Raya hoping he finds something.
Would have been fun if you all in right there. I don't know what I would have done. If you know what all in call, I don't know what to do. $4 million.
Ribouchon going to try his hand at a button raise here. 4 million to go.
Plesuv can really take advantage of the chip stacks at this table right now, as Ribouchon doesn't want to get into any sort of trouble here versus Plesuv. Ace, king, 9 on the flop here. 2 hearts. Ribouchon continues for 3 million and takes this one down.
I apologize, I miscounted earlier. I have 37 now. I forgot I paid the blinds. Yeah.
Let me remind you to also check out PokerGoShop.com. We have some really cool stuff available in our shop, including the very popular No Gamble, No Future hoodies that I've seen literally every single day all over the World Series of Poker. I want to say it's probably the most popular merch item in the poker world right now. So check out PokerGoShop.com for some dope merch.
We have some new bundle packs
launched
at the shop. So if you want to save some money, bundle some items together, shop.pokergo.com/collections/bundles.
Wow.
Or I'm assuming you could also just click the search bar and type in bundles and find your way there also, but shop.pokergo.com.
Action back on Plesuv in the small blind. He's going to raise it up with King Jack suited. He's just going to move all in, put Gunnis to the test, and he's going to let it go. All eyes now on Ryo Kniep, 6 big blinds. He's just going to have to double up at least once to give himself a chance to get back into the race for the bracelet and the $1.2 million first place prize. Now that we're down to 4, I can put a poll in our chat to see who everyone wants to see win.
You can fold through it, just so you know. Yeah. You can absolutely fold through it. And I don't expect people to be like randomly pushing trash against you either.
Plesuv raising up to 4 million. Ribouchon is going to make the call from the big blind, also knowing that Plesuv's range is extremely wide.
Just win this flip and we're back in it. Yeah. You gotta get, like, maybe even you can still steal the blinds even with 5 bigs, even after you fold through the blinds if you have to. So don't just call off randomly just because. Like, you have to have something pretty good. Like, but hey, you'd go with a hand that's 9 suited or something. Thanks.
I like it.
Plesuv's rail is studying their chance.
He's too kind. He's too kind.
Ryo really needing all the energy he can get right now, as Plesuv again wakes up with the playable hand. King 10 of hearts. He's going to again come in for a race, sitting on a whopping 146 million chips, 73 big blinds, and 57% of all the chips in play. Ooh, ace-5 off, Donnie.
Could go in here. He's short enough.
All right, here we go. Ryo is going to commit his chips with ace-5 offsuit.
Go, let's go!
Plesuv with King 10 of hearts. Don't think he's going to fold this one. Yeah, he does make the call. Ryo in the lead here.
I'm ahead.
But it is a coin flip.
All right.
Ace-5 versus King 10. Do we want to see a Ryo comeback? Let me know in the chat what you think. Or do you want to bring this thing down to 3-handed play? Here comes the flop. Ace-7 deuce. Ryo takes a commanding lead here. Still needs to fade running cards.
What do I have to fade?
Turn card is the Queen of Clubs. Plesuv now with 4 outs to send the German to the rail.
Ryo gonna have a conversation with the dealer here before he puts out this river card.
Always the same guy too.
Here's the river. It is the 9 of diamonds, and Ryo Kniep is going to double up. 4-handed action will continue. Tremendous stuff there from Ryo Kniep.
You have 2 horses. You have 2 horses, man.
And 1 million small. How much do you have now, Ryo?
Double the one I had before, I guess. 26 maybe? I don't know. I would assume
This
26.
does really change the dynamics
I mean,
once
I pushed
again.
12 and a half, right? So.
It's no longer as easy to get it all in there for Ryo. 13 big blinds. He has a few more decisions to make here, and he finds pocket aces.
You saw that, right?
Yeah.
The magic worked.
What was the first card? Ace?
5.
5?
So there was a lot of help coming for the second card.
I don't think he's looked yet. How do you regain your composure right now? Look at that big sigh, facing a raise. Donnie, is slow playing an option here?
I mean, it is an option, but
Sorry, guys. Just need to figure out how much I have.
You're good.
24, 26,
I
27.
think you just play your hand accordingly, raise it up. Oh, look at that.
There we go. He does make the call. And Plesuv finds ace-deuce in the big blind. Donnie, could we see perhaps some pressure applied here?
Look at this.
Oh, wow, he moves all in.
Obviously going to knock out Ribouchon, but...
Put the cameras out. Put the cameras out!
Oh, my.
Donnie.
Затрепил.
A little bit of a slow roll there, but doing it for the entertainment purposes.
Oh, my God.
I mean, that is a big play with the karma gods. Are we going to see diamonds here, Donnie, because of that slow roll?
Oh, my God. You can't make up this shit, man. You can't make up this shit.
This final table just keeps delivering more and more good moments. Let's see the flop here as Ryo is once again at risk. Oh my God, 3, 5, 10.
Always a sweat.
Wheel draw for Ryo, or sorry, for Plesuv to send Ryo to the rail potentially. Once again, the dealer gets a talking to. Donnie, there's 60 million chips in the middle. This is massive. Four on the turn!
It's a spade, though. It's a spade.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
It's a spade. Ryo has the ace of spades.
I mean, so far, the aces are cracked right now as it stands. Ace is cracked. Spades are still alive for Ryo. Or else, we're down to the final 3. River card. What is it? It's a 7, and the run is over for Ryo Kniep. His aces get cracked. The show is over. The pink hats will exit the room.
That's a brutal beat.
I tip my cap to you, Ryo Kniep. What an entertaining showing at this final table. He finds aces to get way back into this battle, Donnie. 60 million in the middle. What a brutal way to go out. Ryo Kniep collects $500,000 for finishing in 4th place. And the final 3 now all guaranteed, $650,000. The pay jump right now is absolutely disgusting, as the top 2 are guaranteed at least $1 million.
So now we have that situation that I alluded to earlier where Plesuv has a massive chip lead, Remco. 64% of the chips in play. Out of the next 2 pay jumps, this one is the biggest.
Yep.
350,000 to get to $1 million score. So I expect Pavel Plesuv is going to be max aggression, max leverage.
Ryo Kniep still all smiles, thanking the crowd, exiting the stage. What a competitor, and what a showman.
He was certainly fun.
All in? All in.
Plesuv really upping the aggression here, and we're going to see a lot of this right now.
Sorry, they're fine. 3-3?
Ace-3.
Oh, ace-3. Dominated.
It's been an absolutely incredible final table.
Speaking of final tables, the 25K PLO tonight, I just want to remind everyone again, that's going to be on PokerGo. If you're not yet a PokerGo subscriber, use promo code DREAM30 when signing up for the annual subscription. That saves you $30 on that subscription. Breaks it down to only $5.80 per month with the main event coming up and lots of hours of coverage of the greatest tournament of the year. You're not going to want to miss out on that deal.
Yeah, that 25K PLO final table just over an hour away from the live stream. I'm pretty sure I'm safe to say that it's the biggest first place prize in Pot Limit Omaha tournament history.
And the biggest prize pool in Pot Limit Omaha history as well.
Almost $2.3 million for the winner in that one.
Roger Teska at that final table.
7 high.
We've covered him before.
Oh yeah,
he can get wild.
Yeah. 2 and 2.
By the way, if you're catching us on YouTube right now, please hit that subscribe button. We are streaming daily. We have daily highlights. We have a ton of content for the die-hard poker fans. So just subscribe right now to our YouTube channel. I promise you, we will not disappoint you. There is so much more content still to come.
King, King, Jack on this flop between Ribouchon, who limped the small blind, and Plesuv, the chip leader, who checked his option in the big blind. Plesuv taking the lead here, flopping 2 pair. Check, check on the flop. Queen on the turn. That puts Ribouchon back in front.
These final 3 players, Donnie, are now basically playing a satellite to get to the final 2.
Check, check again on the turn. Jack on the river.
Wow.
Little suck, resuck, re-resuck.
Only 6 million in the middle as Ribouchon now finally decides to bet with the worst of it.
No, stay 2 minutes. 6 million? Professional sweater's gonna leave. Fucking 2 minutes till break. Come on.
Min raise from Plesuv. Clicks it to 6 million.
Things have quieted down quite a bit here ever since that epic 4th place elimination. Ribouchon looks like he's going to make the call here. He's going to see the bad news. Plesuv again extending his lead. And the gap between him and the rest increases that much more. Look at Plesuv. He's got his own chance going on right now.
Calling me fat in their language, it's not right. Big blind?
All right, the French are awake again.
I don't get a pass. If the whole table agrees, I couldn't get a pass? All right.
See if we get some more aggression here from Plesuv.
Let's go!
It gives Paul Guinness a walk.
That's how we do it, baby.
Guinness might be the happiest man in the room right now.
One more hand till the break?
Yeah.
Okay.
One more hand before the break, but guess what? We're not taking a break.
That's right.
We're going to chop that break out We're working with a dynamic delay. Gives us the option to cut the breaks out, because just like you guys, I also have a bit of an attention deficit disorder. So I just like to keep the action flowing, keep it going, and yeah, jump straight into the next hand. All right, Plesuv moves all in here on the button with ace-8 of spades. Let's see if any of his opponents wake up with anything. Ace-7 for Gunnis. Wow, Donnie.
Listen, at some point you're going to have to take a stand against the chip.
Oh,
leader,
he does.
Gunnis does just that.
Gunnis makes the call. Ace-7 versus ace-8.
Oh.
I mean, we got some chop opportunities here.
Big cards, all big cards. Chop it up.
he's already rooting for a chop.
No, he has ace-8.
It always comes 7, Donnie?
We'll see.
Paul Gunnis, tournament life on the line. A massive $350,000 pay jump between third and second.
Not to be outdone, Ribouchon not in this hand, but sweating very intently because of that huge pay jump.
All right, let's see the flop. King, Queen, 4 on the flop.
Big turn. Big turn.
Guinness needs big cards to keep his chances of chopping still alive. A 7, of course, would deliver him the win. Let's see the turn. It's a jack.
Chop it up.
Gunnis still hoping for a chop. He's going to need a card bigger than an 8. Huge river card coming right now. River card.
Let's go!
A 4.
Come on!
Board pair also
We ain't
does it.
done! We ain't done! Let's go! Let's go! Vamos! Come on! Come on, baby!
Bro. Yeah.
Oh,
Can
man,
we
a little
have-
bit of friendly
Okay,
competition
that's good.
here.
13 minutes is good.
The players are going to go on a short little break.
Чуть брейка.
Stick with us here as through some movie magic, we're going to get rid of this break here.
Отключим.
All right, let's go. Let's chop this break out and let's continue the action. There it is, through the magic of the internet. Chop that break out. Let's go. Let's keep these cards going. This is the final table of the Millie Maker. $650K guaranteed for these remaining 3 players. $1 million for second and $1.2 million for first.
Oh yeah, I had Jack Deuce off.
You could have held your breath during the break.
Yeah, I think you could have.
All right, show us some love, ladies and gentlemen. Show us some love in the chat. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. This has been an absolutely hyped final table. I am literally on 0 caffeine. All I need is more big all-ins. And let me tell you, we got some big all-ins still to come because this thing is not over yet. Paul Gunnis, just before the break, staying alive via the magic of a chopped pot. Some might say everybody loves a chopped pot. In this case, Paul Gunnis definitely loves himself a chopped pot.
All in.
Plesuv is going to continue with that aggression. Ace-4 offsuit is going to move all in and attack Gunnis's big blind.
What's the small? 1.2?
All right, we're well on our way to 4,000 likes on the video. If you're new to our PokerGO channel, please know that we stream every single day during the WSOP. We have clips going out every single morning. If you're a poker fan, you have like no reason not to subscribe. And we're trying to get as many as possible so we can do more events on our YouTube channel. We got Negreanu versus Polk. high-stakes duel coming up in August. That's going to be mental as well. Thank you all so much. I see lots of our regulars in the chat.
All in.
Got some new chips in play there. Those ones that Plesuv just put out there, 5 million apiece.
Just give Plesuv one big 100 million chip. Donnie, Plesuv approaching the 200 million chip mark. Sure. Is there any way in which he doesn't win this thing?
I mean, of course there's a way. I mean, but it's very much his tournament to lose at this point.
2-5.
Pavel Plesuv from Moldova, now residing in the Czech Republic. A former World Poker Tour champion, has been in a similar spot like this before. But even for him, this is, of course, a massive, massive moment, not only in his poker career, but also just in his life in general. Because how often do you get a chance to play for more than $1 million? Plesuv's biggest career tournament score, $924,000. He has $6 million in career tournament earnings. One more ladder, and he will also have the largest score of his career. Plesuv last year finished second in the 10K 6 max at the WSOP. Back in 2018, he won the Deep Stack Championships main event for $640,000 here in Las Vegas. And then that biggest score that I referenced was a second place in the Party Poker Live Millions in Rozvadov back in 2018. So very experienced pro. Plesuv knows what he's doing. And he has the chips to end this thing right now, because he is up against a 14 big blind stack and a 9 big blind stack. Oh, wow. Plesuv puts Gunnis all in again. And Gunnis makes the call with ace-3 offsuit, of course. When Plesuv shoves every hand on it, ace-3 is going to look like aces.
Of course it does.
All right, Gunnis is going to need this ace-high to hold up to give himself a chance to notch up his first $1 million score of his career. Let's see the flop. 9, king, 9. Ace high still in the lead.
King 9-9.
Still take an ace. Ace. Tim, get off his stage.
77% for Gunnis to win this one. Plesuv looking for a queen or an 8. Turn card is a queen. Oh my God. A dagger to the heart of Gunnis' dreams of winning $1 million now.
One time. I'm using it. I'm using it. I'm using it. Ace.
One time.
Ace.
River card is the 10 of spades.
Playing with it.
Gunnis eliminated in third place.
$650,000 for Gunnis.
As the French rail chants millionaire, millionaire. Wow. What a dramatic turn of events. And all of a sudden we are down to heads-up play between Pavel Plesuv and Florian Ribouchon. Just like I did to Ryo Kniep, I tip my hat to Paul Gunnis. What a great showing at this final table. And now, Donnie, we're dealing with 2 millionaires.
We are dealing with 2 millionaires. Plesuv, a massive chip leader up against Ribouchon. 222 million to 37 million to start this heads-up match. That represents 89 big blinds to 14 big blinds.
Wow. Let us know in the chat, do you think that Ribouchon can make a comeback here? He has 14 bigs. I mean, I've seen bigger comebacks. Arsenal Bowler in the chat says, it would be such a different game right now if Ryo's aces didn't get cracked. Wow. Absolutely insane, insane final table. We've only been going for 2 hours, Donnie, and we're already down to heads-up play.
I mean, this event showed us how exciting it was yesterday. It has continued with that same energy today. It's been out of control since the cards have been in the air. And now we got 2 millionaires. They're going to play for the coveted WSOP gold bracelet, and $200,000 difference in prize money here, so nothing to sneeze at there.
I mean, at this point, I feel as though it's about the bracelet. It was a satellite to get to heads-up play. Everyone guaranteed $1 million right now, so obviously, what's most important right now is to get the hardware.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Such a crazy, crazy tournament.
You can stay here, it
10,416
doesn't matter.
entries to
Yeah,
start.
that's my rail.
Largest
Thank you.
ever
Thank you.
Millionaire Maker, largest ever $1,500 buy-in at the World Series of Poker.
Thank you.
Now we are down to just 2.
Two players remain, Pavel Plesuv from Moldova and Florian Ribouchon from France. Both players with a strong rail. Plesuv receiving his own custom chance here at this final table. An earlier chance of Millionaire from the French rail. Pretty epic stuff here at the 2023 World Series of Poker. My name is Rem Grinkema, by the way. Donnie Peters alongside me. It's been a blast calling the action, and I might lose my voice if this thing goes very late and if Ribouchon makes a comeback, because this has been non-stop excitement here at our horseshoe table. Let me remind you as well that the 25K PLO is streaming tonight on PokerGo.com in less than an hour. Cards will be in the air for that event. David Tuckman and Dylan Wiseman on the call there. Wiseman bubbled the final table and was kind enough to wash away that feeling of defeat by providing some excellent insights for that PLO high roller final table. Kakwan Lau is chip leader in that event. The final 5 are guaranteed $500,000. Top prize of $2.3 million. We're only a few days away, Donnie, as well, from the main event getting underway.
July 3rd. You guys can catch the first few days, the starting days, here on the PokerGo YouTube channel. So make sure you are a subscriber. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when we're going live for main event coverage. Of course, the later days of the main event, the final table on PokerGo. So it pays to be a subscriber to PokerGo.com.
So yes, the first 4 days of the main event are going to be on our horseshoe table, and that is to allow for all the big shots to roll up here with their trucks and to bring out the fancy equipment, Donnie,
oh yeah,
to do the World Series of Poker main event broadcast like never before. The sweeping images of the rooms, the packed house, everything is going to be, you know, it's going to be a little bit different during the main event. We're cranking things up a notch, and we're starting out with day 1 coverage on our horseshoe tables, which, of course, will hopefully feature some former main event winners, which I always love watching on day 1s. I've heard Scotty Wynn is coming to town. I know he wasn't able to make it earlier, and I've seen lots of main event champions already playing WSOP events as Plesuv and Ribouchon exchange handshakes, which probably means we're going to get cards in the air real soon here. The bracelet is on the table. The pressure is on for Plesuv to close this out. I don't think Ribouchon is going to feel any pressure, Donnie.
I feel like if you're Ribouchon, in a lot of ways, this is kind of a free roll for you. You know, you successfully maneuvered your way to heads-up play. You don't have the deepest chip stack now, coming in here with 37 million up against 222 million of Plesuv. You know, you've kind of alluded to it all day long. A satellite to get to heads-up play, become a millionaire. That is what Ribouchon has achieved, so great success for him.
We're just waiting now for players and staff to be ready to start playing heads up. We're not going to leave you guys. We're going to just go straight into the coverage of this heads up battle. And look at those sort of faux champagne bottles with the handles.
You'll love them. You'll love it.
There better be some good cocktails in those drinks.
Of course there are. I mean, those guys might not have gone to bed. They had those last night on the rail.
Yeah, I hope they got a refresher on those. I think all the ice is probably melted. Let us know who you're rooting for in the chat. Are you team Plesuv, who, you know, has basically not made a single misstep, or are you joining the Frenchies as Florian Ribouchon is having the loudest rail remaining here in the Millionaire Maker?
Plesuv, a WPT champion, looking for a gold bracelet here. He started the day as the chip leader. He has never not been the chip leader here on the final day of action.
Dr. Face Robber says, I don't see this taking too long. I mean, it all hinges on that first big showdown. You know, if Ribouchon gets a quick double up, all of a sudden we got a real match. We need a quick double up from the Frenchman to turn this into a real heads-up match. And of course, no reason to slow down for Plesuv. He's going to keep the aggression going. For some context here, Plesuv at this final table has won 24 of the 55 hands we've played so far. Ribouchon has won only 6. And in the last 10 hands, Ribouchon has not won a single hand. Plesuv has won the last 5. Wow, every single stat, every single thing I can think of is pointing in the direction of the man from Moldova.
No chips.
All right, heads-up action underway here in the Millionaire Maker. Wow. Plesuv, 8-7 offsuit. Could just see him limp here.
Oh, sorry.
He does, just limp. Ribouchon, 5 deuce offsuit. He's going to gladly take a free flop here. All right, here comes the flop. 5, 6, 5. Wow, Donnie. Trips for Ribouchon, open-ended straight draw for Plesuv. We could see some action here.
Yeah, we could certainly see the money go in here.
Hand number 1 of heads-up play. Plesuv bets after we saw a limped pot before the flop. Ribouchon just makes the call, playing it cautiously.
A little trappy with those trips.
King of clubs on the turn. 12.5 million in the middle. Of course, crucial hand for Ribouchon to win. And it looks as though he's going to lead here. Plesuv makes the call. We're going to see a river card. The river is the ace of hearts. I was going to say, if Plesuv hits a straight, Ribouchon is going broke.
Yeah.
Let's see what Ribouchon comes with here on the river, as Plesuv is left with just 8 high. Plesuv not folding right away, but this hand is going to end up in the muck. If you want to give yourself a chance to potentially play at a World Series of Poker final table in the future, why don't you try out GTO Wizard, scan the QR code on your screen, or go to gtowizard.com/PokerGo to try it out for free for 24 hours. Once you sign up for GTO Wizard, use our discount. It is 10% off. It is the tool that all the top players use to study their game, to analyze hand histories, to run through all the hands you played in your home game or on your late night grind, and figure out whether you could have made some different moves. These final 2 tables, players are guaranteed $1 million, $1.2 million for first, and of course, that coveted gold bracelet. Donnie, if there were any sort of fantasy poker leagues to play for the main event, Pavel Plesuv, after this display of strength, has to be one of the top draft picks for this year's main event.
I think he's really showcasing the talents that some more industry insiders, some more diehards have known about for quite some time.
Plesuv continues with his limping strategy, giving Ribouchon another chance to see a flop. King, king, 7 on the flop. Plesuv flops a 7. And like I said at the start of Heads Up Play, we need at least one Ribouchon double up to make this a real match. Plesuv's fans must be feeling extremely confident about the potential of a big party tonight. I mean, we are in Las Vegas after all. If I were to win a bracelet, oh boy. What would you guys do in the chat if you won a bracelet and, you know, 1.2 million? What does that night look like? Where are we going? What are we doing? Probably steakhouse, then the club, and then can't discuss whatever happens after the club, obviously. Ribouchon on the button here also decides to limp. These guys are both playing small ball poker. By the way, if you're enjoying the content, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. That's all we ask for here on today's free stream. Ribouchon flops top 2, gets no action, but he has been chipping up slightly here to start Heads Up Play.
A couple of 30-year-olds, well, you know, in their 30s, battling here. Plesuv is 34 and Ribouchon 32.
There's just something special about being able to call yourself a bracelet winner, you know, when it's all said and done. You know, that 200K pay jump or prize money difference is important, of course, but for someone like a Plesuv who's been on the tour for a very long time, that is a special kind of title he can give himself today if he manages to close this one out. Plesuv limping again, and Ribouchon's sort of done with the limping. He raises with 9-3 offsuit to 6.5 million, applying a little more pressure. There it is. Plesuv lets it go, and Ribouchon takes this one down without showdown. Donnie, if you're Ribouchon here, do you want to start increasing the variance a little bit?
I think it's fine to play low variance style.
Plesuv plays back at his opponent and takes this one down without showdown. Ace-4 off for Plesuv. He's been limping a lot. Let's see if he continues to limp in hopes of catching Ribouchon on a shove with a mediocre hand.
Stacks pretty much back to where they started now. 220 million for Plesuv. Just under 40 million for Ribouchon. Limp on the button from Queen 6 from Ribouchon, and Plesuv picks up 2 8s. He's going to come in with a raise here, understandably so. Ribouchon's going to make the call this time. Take a flop in position.
Meanwhile, social media going crazy about Ryo Kniep showing his aces to the rail before making the call.
4, 3, deuce, 2 diamonds here on this flop. Again, this was limp on the button from Ribouchon, raised out of the big blind from Plesuv. Ribouchon calling in position. Third pot here from Plesuv.
All right, we're going to go see a turn card here. A diamond could really spice things up here on the turn.
How about a 5?
Wow. The 5 could spice things up even more. Plesuv now drawing to a chop. Ribouchon hits his straight and is in position here with 25.5 million in the middle. Donnie, if you're Plesuv here, what's your move?
This is a very tricky spot, especially given this stack size of Ribouchon. 6.5 million here. We knew Ribouchon's not going anywhere with that 6-eye straight.
What's the case here, Donnie, for potentially moving in from Ribouchon's perspective? Because calling might look extremely strong as well, given that he doesn't have a ton of chips left behind.
I mean, even if it looks strong, I think you just have to take that line because you don't want to let your opponent off easy. You want to try and get the absolute max value.
Plesuv checks now to Ribouchon. About 2/3 pot left behind. So, excuse me, half pot left behind for Ribouchon. He moves all in. Decision to make for Plesuv here. Donnie, how many players do we know in poker history who have bluffed all in for their tournament life with a bracelet on the line?
With a pretty shallow stack overall. I mean,
this must look
not many.
this must look incredibly strong.
Six. 21-6.
Plesuv deciding here if his 8s are going to be good enough. But what kind of hand can you put Ribouchon on here?
Well, you probably rule out 1 pair hands because don't think he's turning those into bluffs. If he is bluffing, probably missed diamonds. If he has missed diamonds with the ace of diamonds, is he limp jamming to your raise pre-flop? That's probably in the consideration here for Plesuv. Is he just going to get it all in on the flop with that hand? I don't know. I'm just not sure what combos here you can beat, or talk yourself into beating, because we know if he does call, it's incorrect. And there's the fold.
Ribouchon gets a fold on the river. He would have much preferred a call, but still, chipping up to 60 million is worth something as well for the Frenchman. The match just got a whole lot more interesting, as one double up right now, Donnie, would make things almost equal.
Yeah, about 4-1 now on the chips in favor of Plesuv. He's down to 200 million up against the 60 million for Ribouchon.
King Queen suited here for Plesuv. Premium holding. By the way, if you're just tuning in, heads up play here in the Millie Maker. $1 million guaranteed for both players, 1.2 million for the winner. Plesuv has been dominant this entire final table, but Ribouchon so far has always had an answer, and we have pocket jacks.
Wow.
Absolutely massive situation here developing. Ribouchon making sure those chips are right. And I can only imagine he's running the numbers on how big this re-raise has to be. There it is, the 3-bet from the Frenchman. Action back on Plesuv as we wait for a count of the chips.
13-5.
13-5 is the 3-bet. Any other move than shoving here, Donnie?
If you want to take a more conservative route, you could just call, but there it is. Gonna play it in position.
Just a call here from Plesuv. Huge pot developing here. 29.5 million in the middle. Let's see the flop. King, deuce, 5, 2 hearts. That is not what Ribouchon wants to see. But Donnie, do you always have to give your opponent credit for a king here, or are jacks generally still going to be good here a good amount of the time?
I don't think you can always give an opponent credit for a king. If you are, you're just going to get run over a ton. I mean, Plesuv is also a very seasoned and creative player that he can maneuver this situation without a king. Doesn't necessarily have to have one. So we'll see if Ribouchon can correctly figure this one out.
I really like this bet from Plesuv. King or no king, Ribouchon must be thinking, he might do this without one just to represent strength here. Ribouchon is going to make the call. No hearts for either player, so no backdoor flushes possible. 47.5 million in the middle. King on the turn.
I was going to say, Remco, a king on the turn is probably going to be very bad for Ribouchon, because 2 on board, probably thinking less likely Plesuv has one.
Oh my God. Plesuv, 95% to win this hand. How is he going to extract all the chips from his opponent? And the action is all in. Wow.
Ribouchon does not like it.
Great recognition from Plesuv that this move is going to make it less likely that he has a king, and he does have a king. Ribouchon is going to show the jacks, and he's in a whole lot of trouble. He has only 2 outs, or this event is done. Pavel Plesuv. Can he go wire to wire at this final table? All he needs to do is fade a jack, and the Moldovan will take home his first WSOP gold bracelet. The Frenchman needs a jack, or this thing is over. River card. It is the 3 of clubs, and it is all over. Pavel Plesuv wins the Millionaire Maker. Takes home $1.2 million and his first career WSOP gold bracelet. Florian Ribouchon played a terrific final table as well and collects $1 million for his efforts. But Donnie, what a dominant display from Pavel Plesuv.
Plesuv, chip leader to start the day, chip leader all throughout today, never gave up that top spot. A masterful performance from him. He now claims his first WSOP gold bracelet and more than $1.2 million.
Wow, what an absolute fantastic final table this has been. My name is Remco Rinkema. Donnie Peters alongside me for the action today. It was an absolute blast to call this final table for you. Thanks again for being with us. Tune in about 30 minutes time on PokerGo.com for the final table of the 25K high roller. David Tuckman and Dylan Wiseman on the call. Use promo code DREAM30 to sign up for PokerGo if you haven't already. And then on your way out the door, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Perhaps we can still hit 4,500 likes on the video. Wouldn't that be something? Thank you all so much for watching. We'll catch you tomorrow for more live streaming. For now, have a good night and enjoy the PLO.